Today we're going to start our front-end part. In the previous video, we have developed our backends, and right now we have the task to create front-ends and make these awesome websites. And I hope you will enjoy it. So here you can see this is the overview actually. So this is the website here. You can see some classes from the backend. Here's popular instructor. Then you have classes page where you can see lots of classes enlisted, and then if you want to check any of this class you can click this view, and then you can see by this way actually you are seeing all the classes. And here enroll button, if you click it will say you have to this will be selected, and you can see this item is selected. Now if you go to your dashboard, wait, let me go to your dashboard and my selection, then you can see two items are selected. You can just check out from here, and if you have paid any of these then you can just go your enrolled, and you can see these items are you paid and these items are here. Okay, we'll build all of this stuff, and but we will start from the beginning. Okay, so let me open the project. So here this is my projects, and we have to open it on VS Code. So that's why let me open it on VS Code. So code dot, okay, so this is the projects, and here you can see we have a backends and we have done all our backends code here. And these obviously I am providing all of this code, so sorry, source code. So if you check these video descriptions you will find the server side code obviously, so you can just clone that repository and can get started with me. Okay, so that is not a big deal actually. So let me run the server first. So here let me close these commands. So I'm closing this on, I have on terminal right now, and here let me clear it. So at first we are on the yoga master, but our backend folder name is backend, so we have to go to the backend, cd backends, and press enter. Now we are in backend. We can run our backend by npm start, and if you do that then you can see pinged development. So MongoDB is connected and server running on the port 5000. And if you go to localhost, and I have shown everything in the previous video, so don't worry, just all the previous videos. So server is running. If you try to go to access any uh, courses or classes, then you can see there are 6 courses available. And if you want to get any classes, then the route was class, and then there was an id. So let me paste the id, and you can see it's a single class details. So we can complete everything from now. So let's develop the front end. So for the front end actually here is a dedicated folder. We can right now we can just stop our server, but okay, it's not mandatory, you can keep it. So we will open another terminal. I'm choosing git bash, and this is actually for the front end. And here what we will do, we will have to go inside this folder. So that's why we'll type cd and then front end, press enter. Right now you can see you are on the front end folder. So here we will have to set up react, uh, tailwind css and other stuff. So let's do that. So for this actually I love to, let me close this tab right now. I love to use tailwind css. So in this project actually we'll do work with tailwind css. So here you can see this is a get started button, and then if you click this, so this is the installations, and if you click this framework guidance, then you will find vite. Actually we will vite for these projects. Here the command is, firstly you have to define this command. Okay, but already we create a folder, so that's why it's actually you not needed. You can only copy this. So npm create vite simply. So here you can paste in npm create vite, and if you define dot slash, that means vite will install on this current folder. The folder name is frontend. Okay, so here at the end we'll define dot slash, and if you press enter then it will say would you like to proceed? Yeah, I'm like to proceeding. And here you have to choose React framework. So choose your framework, that is React obviously. Then you can choose your language. I'm going to use JavaScript, and that is plain JavaScript. If you want to learn TypeScript, then I have a tutorial, you can just visit that. Okay, so you can use your arrow to move top and bottom, so up arrow and down arrow. And then when you are on the JavaScript, then press enter. Then you can see a folder and a file stuff are created inside this front end folder. And then the next command is you have to run npm install. Right now there is no node modules included in this folder, so that's why I have to run this command npm install. You can just simply type npm I in short of install and press enter. Okay, this is done. And then to run this project, you have the command npm run dev. Okay, I just type npm run dev and press enter. So here is a localhost link, so you have to press Ctrl and click here to open it on your browser. So right now you can see, let me organize a little bit. You can see a Vite project is created, and it's actually a React Vite project. Okay, so then we have to, the first step is done. We have to install tailwind css. For this, here is the two commands. Copy this first one, then open VS Code. Then you can stop this right now. So stop this by pressing Ctrl C and then paste the command. So here we're going to install tailwind css, post css, and auto prefixer as a dev dependency. Okay, so if you press enter, then it is going to install tailwind css. Okay, how you can understand if install is successfully done? Okay, so from here on the front end folder, you can see a package.json file, and here you will find all the dependencies. Here you can see this is dependencies, and I said it will install on dev dependencies. So here you can see this is tailwind css, and this is auto prefixer, and here post prefixer. That three one we installed. And then the next command is npm tailwind css init -p. So by actually let me by paste it here, and by right now we don't have a file of tailwind.config.js. So after commanding this, actually you will get a tailwind.config.js file. You can see a tailwind.config.js file is created here. Let me open it. And then the third step is you have to just define the path to the template. So here you have to go to tailwind.config and you have to customize this content section. So copy this content sections, and here you can see the content section is empty. We will have to paste the content sections here. Okay, that's done. The next option is you have to add derivatives to your css. So here you have to go to src, then index.css. You will have to copy all of these three lines and then go to src folder. Then you have to go to index.css. Here you can see there's some code written already. You have to select all and remove all by pressing backspace and paste these three lines of code here. Okay, after pressing this, you can again run your projects by npm run dev. So let me run this projects again by npm run dev. So this is project is running, and here if you refresh, you can see something like this. The style has broken, but here is some something issues actually. So there are actually some css on app.css. So if you clear this, then you can see that's styling. That means tailwind css is applied. How you can test it? Okay, so to test it, if the tailwind css is working properly, let me close all of this, and here from the front end folder you will go inside src folder. Then you can see help.jsx. Here you will find some code. Let me close this, and here you will see a React functional components. So it's actually functional components, and here you can see there's some code stuff, and this code is rendering and showing it here. So if you clear everything, then if you just see there is nothing. But if you type, for example, let me type a json, and here hello developers or something like this. If you just do this, then you can see hello developers is here. Okay, so here there are unnecessary code, so we can just remove that stuff from here. Okay, so right now everything is fine. So you can see this is the thing, the basics of the thing here. But next we have to install React Router DOM. So we'll search React Router DOM, and then the first website is reactrouterdom.com, and here you will go. We will have to set up React Router DOM to add features like routing system and more. Okay, so how you can do that? From here you have to click this tutorial sections, and here you will find a step-by-step guidance. So at first it says you have to create a Vite projects. Okay, we have done that. Then we have to go inside the projects. Yes, we are inside this project. Then the command is here. I can copy this command and open the terminal. You can close this terminal, or you can just again take another terminal. So let me take another terminal. You can just do it side by side. For example, if you want, then you can just uh, drag it and drop it here. Okay, let me. Okay, so I'm doing it side by side. Here we'll have cd at first, then we will have to go to front end projects, type front end, and then press enter. So here we can run the command. So we're going to install React Router DOM, then local forest, mass sorter, and sorted by. It's actually, you can just remove that. It's actually not needed, but if you want, you can just keep going with it. Okay, so this is installing. This will help you to implement routing system. Just wait until it's complete. Okay, that's done. Then the next option is you have to set up routing. You can see add router, add a router. So you have to go to main.jsx, and here you have to do import React browser router, and you have to create a router provider. Okay, so you have to copy the colored code. So copy this colored code from here, and we will go to, let me remove that. So we'll go to, at first we'll go to src folder, then we'll go to main.jsx, and here we will paste the first thing. It's actually importing create browser router and router provider from React Router DOM. Then we will have to create a router. So copy this code block and paste it here. After then the final text is you have to use router provider. Okay, so instead of app you can simply provide router provider. So if you do this, then you can see hello world. Previously there was in the app.jsx, so you can see we have hello developers, but right now it's actually rendering hello world. Why? Actually we are using router, and here we have just done with a div that is actually hello world. So right now the app is not used here, so that's why it's actually rendering. We can just delete that. We don't need that. You can just simply delete that, and then we will actually maintain our routing system within another folder. So if you have this basic understanding how you can set up React and Redux, sorry, React and React Router DOM, then I think you can just get started with me, and I will provide a starter file so that there you can find all the assets and images and all the stuff. So that's why you have to go to my Git repository, and then we'll see here are repositories sections. Let me go to there. Why I'm providing this starter file? Actually, look here, you need some styles, you need some files. Actually here you can see there's images using, we use that type of image, we use these images, we use a color theme. Here you can see when you just hover, then you can see a dark theme applied. So we used only provide colors. So if you check here, you can see it's very simple. Here on this tailwind.config.js file, It's actually here we use a dark mode class, and here we simply extend colors. It's very simple. If you check here right now on tailwind.config.js, the extended file is empty, but we have include these two colors. You can just copy it and paste it here. Let me copy colors and paste it here. Okay, so then you can just simply use dark mode, and here you can include dark mode, and that's it. This configuration is done. Next, you have to do what is you have to do go to this src folder, then you can just download this asset file. Here you can see we have images for the homepage images. I just provide it here. This image is used here. You can see this image is used here. If you just scroll, then there is another image. This image also there. You can see banner 2 is that image. You can manually download the images from this asset folder, and then you can see we will have all of this asset here, and there are simple styling. There is little bit styling. You can copy the whole thing and replace copy the whole thing and just replace on the index.css file. Okay, you can just do that this way and download all the assets and keep it on the asset folder. That is your task. But if you here there is another thing. If you check the package.json, we installed some packages such like we have installed sweet alert, we have installed react toastify, we have react spinners, we have react hook form, we have lots of stuff is installed there. We have installed react query, timestamp query, and all of this stuff. If you want to do manually, you can do mistakes, so that's why I'm providing this file. What you have to do, you have to simply go to this file. I will provide the link in the descriptions, and you have to download this file. Then let me download it. When the download is complete, go to the folder directory, and here you have to extract it. Simply let me extract all, and then everything is extract, and you have to go inside this folder and you have to copy everything, and you have to replace this file. Actually, you have to replace this file. Okay, so what you have to do, you can simply do this thing. You can either delete all of this file from here, or you can just delete entirely the folder. So I will entirely, okay, let me show it from here. You can just simply delete this folder. Okay, let me permanently delete it. So it says, okay, here is actually running. The two terminal is running, so that's why it's actually not working. Okay, so I think right now you can just delete it. You can either delete the entire folder. Let me give the access. Okay, permanently deleted. So this folder is permanently deleted, and what you have to do, you have to create a again the front end folder, and inside this front end folder you can either drag this all thing. You can either drag it and go there and paste it on the front end file. So here you can see on the front end folder, you can see the uh, square is there, colored square. You can simply paste it here and everything will come here, or you can just simply do another thing. You can just copy everything, then go to the your folder directory, then simply paste it here. If you do paste it here, you can just do that. So there is two way you can just simply do that. Okay, that is we have everything set up, and that we said that we have assets folder, we have images here. All the images you are required, you have there, you have gallery images. Okay, you have a error svg files, and you have dashboard images and all of this stuff. So everything is ready for you, and what you have to do, you have to open the terminal. Then you can see the server is running on this terminal, and again we will take another terminal. Let me choose git bash, and here what you will have to do, again you have to go to inside this content. So that's why cd front-end folder, go inside here, and again as we're just downloading it from GitHub, at the beginning we have to run npm install. I am just using in shortcut, so that is npm I, press enter. So good, node modules is installing and everything is fine. Wait a minute. So don't worry, if you face any problem you can just get help from me. If you have understand, it's actually we don't did nothing much better, but actually we just provide the template folder so that you can use it and do work with me. Okay, so then what you have to do, you have to run this project. So npm run dev to run this project. So npm run dev, you can see again the localhost url, you can just click here and then it will open on your browsers. You can see this is actually the thing, it's actually hello developers from the previous thing that we did. Actually there was hello world on this main.jsx. You can see here's a router setup and that's it. Okay, so right now from here you will get started right now. So what you have to do, at the beginning we don't use our routing system this way. Actually if we write all our routing code, we'll have um, routing for the general users, then we will have the routing for the admin dashboards and all of this. If we write all of our code inside this, it will be a large file, so that's why we'll maintain another file for the routing system. So what you have to do, on this src folder, you have to create a folder. So that is actually routers, sorry, actually you can just define routes. Okay, in this folder actually we will implement router. This router you can just either copy it and then create a file here. So that would be router.jsx. In this file we'll actually implement all our routing. So let me create a react functional components. So here I'm just creating a react functional component. So you can see it's a function, we export it so we can use it from anywhere. But before that let me show you how I just do it. You can simply do it by this way. You can define a function that would be router, then it would be arrow functions, or in general functions it will have something like this. We'll return something from here. So maybe we can just return a div, and that would be router, and finally we can just export default router. So it's a very common structure of a components. So you can just do this, or you can get help of an extension. So the extension is, if you search ES7, then you will find an extension that is ES7 plus React Redux, React native snippet. So I'm using this extension. You can either install it so that whenever you want to type RFC, then you will get a React functional components. Okay, the same thing that we did manually. So you can use this extension for that, and you can also obviously use another extension that is actually Tailwind. Uh, Tailwind css intelligence. You can also use that extension, so it will help you a lot to write tailwind css code. Okay, so that is the prerequisite. You can install that. Okay, so if you have implement these routes, and what you can just do, we don't need it to import. And then the next thing is that you have to import it from the main.jsx. Here we're using manually router, we don't use that, we will remove that. And from here I did a little bit change here. So that is, we have set up timestamp query, and we just make a provider inside here. In the previously we have the thing. Okay, let me just show you. We have this type of thing, will have uh, this type of things actually. But here I use the two things. Actually we set up React timestamp query. So if you search React trunk query. I will show you everything, so don't worry. React trunk query. If you search, then if you go there, then you have to click this read docs, and from here you can just read this installation process. Where is the installations? Actually here, at first you have to install it, then you have to import this, and look, I just import it at the beginning. So this is the importing thing. After then we have a uh, query client provider, so that is the query client provider. So let me go back. You can see here query client provider, and inside this client we will pass this query clients. So here is the query client, so new client. You can see exactly the same thing we did it. If you want, then I can simply show it again. So let me just show it again. We'll remove all of this stuff. So that is done. Okay, it's very simple. Let me format this code. At the beginning we have to install we already installed React query, so you have to import this. Let me copy it, and maybe we can just paste it from here. After then you can see here you have to define a query client, so let me define a query client here. After then we can just simply do it. We can just simply copy it, and here we can simply paste it. Instead of the example, we'll cut it and paste it here. So that is very simple. We did it actually here. So if you check your websites right now, you can see it's actually not showing because we removed the routing. So that's why here you can just do another thing. You can simply let me import the router, and this time we'll import router from dots slash router slash routes. Okay, so if you do this, you can see we have imported it here. Then let me make it a little bit above, so from here is okay. So then if you refresh, why it's actually not showing, let me check. I did everything finally and it should, let me inspect it, then check the console. Here it says cannot read the provide. Okay, so it's actually cannot read the router provider. Okay, here we'll have to import router provider. It's actually okay. Here actually we did a little bit changes, so let me go to React router DOM. I'm sorry for that. So here is not the React, so React router DOM. Just wait a minute. Tutorial sections, then here you can see you have to do this way. Actually you have to you can just simply copy it, and instead of this you can simply paste it. It's actually same. You have to install browser router here. After then you have to export it. So let me define export, and then again let me import it from here. So remove it, then again type router, import it from here. You can see we're importing it here. So if you do this and go back, sorry, go back this, so you can see hello world actually. So as I just removed the thing, so that's why it's actually not appropriately showing, but actually I have shown you how you actually do that. Okay, this tutorial is a little bit advanced, so that's why I'm doing that way. But if you download the starter file, then you don't have to configure this manually. We will did it for you. You have simply create a router this way. You have to create a router this way and you have to import it. Okay, so that's the thing. So we have did this. So the next thing is that, so let's set up routing system. So here at the beginning, what you have to do, we will implement another thing. So that would be a layout. We'll do two layouts. One is for main layout, so that would be this layout. So if you check, so this is on layout. So if I just logged out, then you can see when someone is the first time is came to your website, he can see this layout. So this is our main layout. But when someone log in to the accounts, so let me just log in. So this is a user, so that's why we will show a dashboard layout. So this is actually dashboard layout. We will have two layouts. So let's create a layout here. So for this, actually for the creating the layout, on this src we will create another file. So that would be, sorry, folder layout. So inside this layout we will have a two layout. We will have main layout, so that would be JSX file, arrayfce. So React functional component, we can remove that one. And here actually we will include the main layout. So instead of only a text, we will just define main layout. So it's not actually importing. Let me check. Let me implement again. Layout, import it, then self closing it. Okay, so if you do this, then right now you can see, so it's actually main layout. So if you have main layout, then you can include some styles here. So that would be children. If you want to get the overview, we can see after defining, you can just define root layout. So root layout here, instead of root layout I am using our main layout actually. So after then we can have some child, so we can have children, and then we'll have a third bracket. So after then what you can just do, for example, you need a home page, so that's why we can create another page. So that would be a home page. In this actually in this folder we can create a page, so that would be pages. Inside these pages we can have a home page, home.jsx rfce, and then here here we can just define a root layout. So that would be, we can have a curly braces, then we'll define a path. So the path will be our root path. When someone just browse to our home page, that would be our root path. Then here we'll implement a element, so that would be our home. So right now, if you go to your websites, instead of home layout, you cannot see anything actually. You cannot see anything. So what you have to do, you have to make a outlet on this main layout. So instead of this, actually, you can include a outlet. Outlet. Let me self closing, and right now you can see this is home. So look, in this websites we will have actually navbar, we'll have footers, and in between we will have contents. Actually you can see this is the footers. So at the top we will have navbar. If you just include navbar here, so nav, this is navbar, and if you include footer here, so this is footer. Now if you check your websites, you can see it's navbar, the top navbar, and this footer, and in between we will have contents. So that's the thing we have required to do. And here we can do a little thing, we can close all of these stuffs. That's done for now. And here we can add some class name. Instead of div, we can convert it a semantic tag, so that is actually main tag. So this is main tag, and here we can add some css. So that would be on dark. On the dark we can just define busy black, and we can just define overflow hidden, so that there is no scroll bar. So that's it. So here everything is done. We have to define navbar and footer. We have to design the navbar first, so let's move to the navbar sections to design the navbar first. Okay, so for this we will create another folder. Inside this src folder we'll create another folder, so that is actually components. Okay, so inside this components folder we will design our navbars, we will design our footer. So actually reusable components will keep inside this folder. Okay, so here we can just define a headers. So inside this folder we'll have a navbar. So navbar.jsx arrayfce. Then instead of this, actually let me close main, we don't require this. Instead of this, sorry, we can just remove that right now. Instead of this hard-coded navbar, we can import our navbar components. So navbar components, and right now we can see this is navbar. If you design your navbar here, it will exactly shown on the websites. Okay, so here let's design our navbar similar like this. We'll have this type of navbar. So firstly we'll create the navbar similar like this. We'll have all of this stuff. Okay, so let's do that. So at the beginning here we can just define some nav links. So const nav links, and here we'll have a array of objects. So inside here we'll have a name. The name will be home. Then we will have a route. The route will be slash, sorry, here it's not equal, it will be a colon. You can just define this way, single thing. So after then you can just copy this for 2 or 3 times. So let me copy this for 3 times. Here the second one will be structure, and that would be tractors. Okay, and then the third one will be classes. So you can see actually at first we'll have home, then instructor, then classes. So that's we did here. So here we'll have classes. You can just click here, then the route is classes. So you can just simply define classes. Okay, so our nav items is here, and then inside these actually we can include that. We'll have a div. So here we can convert it to a nav item. So that would be semantic tag, and inside this nav item we will have a div. So this div will have some class name. So let me define class name. So the class name will be on large devices. We will define w will be 95%. So I'm using here. Then we will define mx auto. Then we will define on small devices. We can just define px16. Okay, so for now inside this div on large devices we can also define px6. Okay, so inside this div actually we will have a div for logo. So we can add a comment. So that would be logo, and here we will have a div. So inside this div we can keep this logo inside here. So let me keep it here, and we'll have a div. So that is for logo. We can just include simply this is logo. We can just simply define a text so that you can see here. You can see this is logo, and it's actually 5% from the left, something like this. Okay, so at the beginning here what you have to do, you can just define some class name. So that would be for now that would be px4. Okay, and we can just define py4. Then we can just define flex layout, and then that would be item center justify between. Okay, something like this. So that is actually the styling for now. And this logo will have two things actually. We'll have a h1. Here we'll define the text of the logo. So that is actually yoga master. So it's actually text. We can just simply define your company logo here. Then we'll have an image. So here we can use an image, and here we can see our images on public folder. So this is the logo. Actually this is the yoga logo. We can use this logo. So that's why here we'll define dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash, and then we'll have public folder, then we'll have yoga logo. So right now if you check your websites, you can see a logo is here, but as we import these items from the public folder, you don't need to have this. Actually when you import something from public folder, you can use slash something. This is the exact way. You don't have to manually just do that. You can, whenever you import your images or assets from public folder, you don't have to define dot dot slash. You can simply define slash and the item's name. Okay, so right now he still your logo is showing here. You can just design that stuff. So let's add a width and height of the image. So that's why here we'll apply class name, and here the width will be 8 and the height will be 8. So in this h1 we can add some styling. Here let's define class name, and the class name will be text to excel. That means text 24 pixels. Then we'll have fonts. The font will be okay. We don't need to include the font right now. We will do that later. We'll have inline flex. So this item will be inline flex. Then we'll have a gap of 4. Then sorry, gap of 3 is okay. So if you check, you can see the gap of 3 is okay. After then we'll have item center. Then we'll have font bold. Okay, so if you check right now, you will have this type of thing, but it's on the center. But whenever you add the class items, actually you will add the class items, it will be shown there. Okay, no problem. After this is on, we will have a paragraph tag, and then we can just define a tagline. So this is actually tagline. We can add some styling here. So that would be font bold. Then we'll have text. So the text will be 13 pixels. So that would be hard-coded data. Ternary operating, as here we are defining tracking. Tracking means actually letter space. So that would be, we will use hard-coded tracking. So that would be 8 pixels. You can just use letter space as you want. So you can see this is something like this. Okay, so this logo section is done. If the logo section is done, then you can just move, you can just show this type of icons. So after this logo, actually we can have, here we will define mobile menu icons. So here is the comments, and after then we'll define another one. So that would be navigational links. Okay, so we already written the navigational link and we will show it here. So here we'll have a div, and by default these div will be hidden on the small screen, but it will be visible on the block medium devices. So after then we'll have text black. On the dark theme it will be text white. Okay, so that's it. And inside here, inside this div, what we'll do, we'll have another div, and then we'll have ul tag. Inside this ul tag we'll have nav items. So that would be nav items. We'll map the array of objects and show a single item. So here we'll destructure link, then we will have arrow, then we will have a parenthesis, then we'll take a list item. Inside this list item, we will implement nav links from React Router DOM. So you can simply type nav links and import it from React Router DOMs. You can self close it, and inside here we can simply define link. So link dot, here you can see this is actually name, so you can just define link dot name. So if you do this, then if you go there, you can see home instructors and classes is there. So if you have, you can just right now you can just style this. Okay, so as we're using a props, we have to use a props here, that would be key props. So link dot router, so this is a props, and let's style this. So at the beginning here, look, it's on a block level, we can make it flex, so that's why this is a class name. We can just define that would be a flex. And here, so right now we can add some classes, that margin left will be 10, then we'll have flex, we'll have item center, we'll have a space of x-axis 4, and then we have pr, that would be 4, something like this actually. After then we can target this list item. We don't need to add any style, we can just style here. So we can just define class name. The class name will be two things. So if you check, let me go React Router DOM, it's very handy. So from here, if you hit this tutorial sections, and here there is nav links. Wait a minute, I'm just showing. So active linking, so here you can see this is the styling. So you can just do custom hover effect. So whenever select any of this, that one will be selected. You can see this class is selected now, this instructor is selected now, and when you click, by default home is selected. Okay, so you can do this by this way. You have to define a class name, and you can just simply copy this. Okay, let me copy this, and I forget to define a path here, so that would be a path. So this path will be simply link dot router. Okay, so you can just format this code, and you don't need actually the painting, so that's why you can remove painting status. So painting, you don't require to have painting. And when it's active, here you can just do a little change. You can use template string, and by default you can just define font will be bold, then you will have do this dynamically, so that would be is active. So if it's active, then you can add some text color. So text will be secondary color, that we defined on tailwind.config. Here you can see this is the secondary color. After this, we will have a clone, and then we'll define another template string. Then we'll have nav bz. Okay, so here actually nav bz is not yet defined, so that's why the warning here. What we will do, we'll define an use state. So the use state will be const, and here we'll define nav bz, and then here we'll have set nav bg, and we'll define use state hooks, and here we'll define a color. So the color will be a string. So here we'll define bz and a hard coded data, so that would be hash 15151580, something like this. Okay, and right now you will use here actually nav bz. So after this nav bz, actually here we can just define dot includes, so method, and we'll define busy transparent. Then we'll have quotations here. We'll define that would be text white, and finally we'll have something like this, so that would be text black. Then we will have on dark, that would be text white. Okay, and finally after this we'll have other classes. So let me define, that would be hover text, so hover will be text secondary. Then we'll have duration, that would be 300. So right now let's check if it's working or not. So you can see when you hover this type of thing, right now we don't have others routes, so that's why it's actually not showing. But when you have this routes, so that would be working. So right now if you want, then I can just set up some routes. It's very simple. Okay, let me set up simply so that I can just show you here where is the routes. So here is routes. After then let me define some routes. Here we'll have a path. The path will be routes for tractors, so we can just define it the routes, that would be tractors. Here we will have to import a page, so this is page. Inside this page we can just create another page, so that would be tractors. We can just simply paste that and make it italic, make it capital. After inside this folder we'll have tractors. I is capital here. When you define a components, it will be capitalized, and JSX here will define RFCE. And right now inside this we'll have a elements, and here we'll define that would be structures. Import it here. So if you do this right now, you can see when you click, this is marked, you can see, and here this is instructor page. So that means routing system is working. When you click this instructor, the instructor page will have a different thing, so that is actually working. You can see when you click here it will be work, when you just click here it will be work. Okay, so we didn't define theme, so that's why it's actually we cannot test it on the dark theme, but we will do it very soon. But for now let me define a another routes for the classes. So here we can just copy this, and here we will have to define comma, we will have classes. Then we will create a page for the classes, so that would be classes page, and inside this classes page we'll have classes.jsx rfce. And again we'll have to, instead of this, we can just simply define classes. Okay, so routing system is awesome. Right now you are on the classes and the content is here. Okay, so neighbor is doing okay, so this is done. Right now next move to the other stuff on the neighbor. And here after this li, after this here actually we can just here you can see we'll have actually login icon and this, so you can also do that, include here inside these. Actually we can simply define based on users. Okay, so here right now we can just define a variable, or you can just define a states for now, or let me define a variable user equal false. Okay, so we can just do it this way. Let me check it. If users, then we can just do null, otherwise we'll check is login. Actually it will be a little bit difficult, we don't do that, but right now we can simply define a route. So for this, so that you can just define that it will be a nav links. So let me just define it simply. We can just nav links. Here we can simply define that would be login. Will implement the based on the users and others. When we'll have an user available, we will implement the functionality a little bit later, but right now it will be login, and here we'll define it too. So that would be slash login. Okay, and here we'll have same styling, so that we defined here. We can just simply copy it. Let me copy it here and paste it here. So let me check. Here is the login. If you click, the login page is not available, but here the login is here. Okay, everything is fine, but it's actually not moving side by side. So where is actually the issues? So here actually we'll have let me close. Here we'll have flex justify center. Instead of justify center, we'll have to define that would be justify between. Instead of this, we can just define justify between. Then you can see it's now side by side, something like this, and more. Okay, so that is the neighbor right now, and we will have to do more here, but right now it's actually okay. We'll have another thing, so that is actually for a button. So here inside this, actually after these nav links, we'll have a, let me add a comments. We can keep it inside a link item, sorry, list item. Paste it here. Again, here we can just have color toggle. Okay, so we can include what we can include. We can just include a color switcher, but for now let me define simply a list item, and here we can just simply define light slash dark. Okay, something like this. For now we will just do it a little bit later. So you can see this is something like this, but we will add a switcher. So for this actually we'll have to implement theme provider. So okay, so what is actually theme provider? So for this theme provider, we can have to explore MUI material. So here actually we'll use this, and here if you just discover, or if you just go to the docs, and okay, let me search is here. We can just define theme. So theme is scoping. Here you can see we'll have to define a create theme. We'll have to define this way, and you can have to apply another providers and do that sort of stuff. So let's create a theme. For that, at beginning we will have to create a theme by this command. Okay, we have installed this, we have already this installed. If you check the package.json, you will find that. So here you can see we have installed this. Actually you don't need to install it, you can simply have to use it. So for this we can just copy it, and here at the nav bar we will go to the top, and after this we can simply define it here, and here we will simply define that would be theme, and inside this theme you will have to define your theme, and here we'll pass, we have a palette, so that would be a primary colors. So the primary color here will define the theme primary color will be AFF 0000. Okay, and then we'll have a secondary color, so that would be something like this, and that would be 00 AFF 00, something like this. So we have created a theme, but we didn't import it. Let me import it. So it's actually not suggesting. So if it's not suggesting, what you can just do, you can just copy this and include at the top. Okay, so I just include that at the top. Okay, so go back instead of this, actually this hard-coded thing inside this. What you can just do, actually we can just do a little bit other stuff. So here we can just do some use state. So define const navigation, sorry, navigate. Great, that would be use navigate, and here we'll have this, and then we'll have const location. So that would be use location from React router.com. After then we will have some use state. Here we'll define const is mobile menu open, and set is mobile menu open. You can just simply copy it, paste it here, and you can just capitalize this is, and then you will have to define use state. So that would be false by default. When we toggle, we can just move it. Okay, then we'll have const is home, then we will have set is home, then we will have use state, that would be false. Then we'll have another use state, so that would be is login. Okay, we can just define another use state, so that would be scroll. So const scroll position, set scroll position, so that would be use state. Here will be 0. After then we will have another use states, so that would be const is fixed, then we'll have set is fixed, then that would be use state of false, and finally we will have dark mode toggle, so is dark mode, then that would be set is dark mode, and that would be false right now. Okay, so that is the thing. After this we can just define some functions. So when someone hit toggle mobile menu, then here we have a functions, and then we'll define set is mobile. So didn't we'll have to define set is mobile menu side here, and that would be toggled is mobile menu open. Okay, so after this we'll have use effect. So use effect hook, so here you can see use effect has a functions, and after then it will have a dependency. So here inside this function will include const dark class, so that would be dark. After then we'll define const root equal window dot documents dot document elements, and here we'll define conditionally is if dark mode, if is dark mode, will conditionally define root dot class list add dark class, and here we'll have else, then we'll have something like this, remove dark class. Okay, that is, and here we'll have a dependency that is actually is dark mode. Okay, so after this dependency we'll have an use effect. We'll have another use effect, so that would be a dependency, and here will be a functions, so anonymous functions, and here we'll have set is home, and here we'll define location dot path, and here we'll have the path when the location, that would be root path, and we can just do the three stuff. So let me define const here is login page, then set login, so that would be false, and const again. Okay, that's the thing, we can just, we don't need that stuff, can keep it there. And here what you have to do, here we can just define set is login, and here when the login route, so that would be something like this, and finally we'll have set is fixed, and here we'll have something like this, and we'll define that would be register, and here we can just define optional, so that would be location dot path name, and that would be either slash login, same login. Okay, and here we can add dependency, so that is locations. When the path name will change, it will actually try to just try to get that thing. Okay, after then we'll have another use effects, and that is the last one. Actually we have lots of use effects actually for the betas thing. You can see why actually we're needing. So if you go home, when you hover you have to do this type of effect. When you just go any of this route, you will have to implement that thing. So that's why arrow curly braces. After then we'll have dependency. Inside this curly braces we'll have if scroll position is greater than 100. So when scroll position is greater than 100 pixels, so here we'll check if is home. If it's on home, then we'll just do something. We'll just define set background, and here we'll define some colors, so that would be tailwind css color. We'll define busy will be white, then we'll have backdrop. It's actually not doing, but here let me add some classes, and then we'll copy this, so that would be busy white, then we'll have backdrop filter, then we will have backdrop blur excel, then we will have busy opacity 0, then we'll have on dark we'll have text white, then on text will be by default black. Okay, we can just copy this. So I just write it so that there is not suggested here, so that's why I'm just writing here. Okay, so after then, if this done, then we will have the another thing. So after this, actually after this, if we have a else block, and here we will have, we'll define the same thing, set busy nav, and we'll have others classes. So let me write the class here and we'll copy that. So busy will be white, then we'll have dark, busy will be black, then on dark that would be text white, and by default text will be black. Okay, we can copy all of this class and paste it here, and finally we will have a else block. So here we'll have set navbg, and here we'll have a template string. We can conditionally add is home or location dot path equals triple equals, then we'll have something like this, and finally we'll have a class. So that would be here, let me write, so busy transparent, let me copy cart, paste it here, and finally we'll have something like this. We'll add busy white, then we will have on dark busy black. We can just copy all of this stuff and paste it here, and then finally here we'll have, let me, here we'll add dark, so that would be text white, and then text by default will be white. Okay, we can just copy this is final thing, and we'll add after this thing. Okay, so everything is fine, and here we'll add dependency, so that would be, so a scroll position. Okay, and here we can add another one, that would be the last one. So it's actually for the use effects, so handle scroll, so that would be, here we'll define a functions. We can just define const current position that would be window dot page y offset, so y offset something like this. Then we can just define set a scroll position, this current position, and then we'll have a scroll, handle a scroll, and then we'll just return this actually. Okay, so everything is fine, so that's done actually. So if you have, you can implement the dark theme here and do the stuff here. This is the link here. We will I just, let me back it, how you can just define here. You will have theme provider, you can see this is theme provider. Inside this we will have to define theme, and we'll have to pass our theme, then that's it. So let me copy this, and here we'll define components, sorry, that would be theme provider. Inside this we will have to pass theme, and then the theme will be my theme, so that would be above. Inside this we will have a div, so this div will have a switcher is w swiss, it will be a self closing, and here we'll pass on change. Here it will be a function, then arrow functions, then we'll call is set set is dark mode, then we'll call not is dark mode, something like this. After this switcher you will have a ace on, then you will add light slash dark, and we'll add some class name, so that would be actually text 8 pixels. And in this div we will have class name, we will apply flex, then we'll have flex call, then we will have justify center item center. Okay, let's check it. We'll have this type of thing look. Okay, so this is actually working, and we'll apply this to the whole thing. Actually look, it's as we have this banner, actually that's why it's actually not showing, but we'll have to implement light and dark mode this way. If you go, you can see it's applying perfectly, and here you will have to apply some classes so that it will be visible, but right now it's okay. So if you have, then you can just simply define. Okay, so I think everything is fine. Okay, let me define the advanced stuff. Here you can just define a variable, so that will be const, and here user set user, so that would be user state false right now. And what if you just try to implement this thing? So let me check here. Actually after this we'll have curly braces, we'll have user check, if users null, then we will have a clone, then we will check is login, then we will have conditionally define a this whole link. Actually you can just cut this and paste it here. After then you will have something like this, and finally you will have another thing, and here we'll define that would be, so this one will be sorry, and here actually we can just define this will be register. Okay, so if you do this, let me check. Here by default this is login, but if you make it, okay, we can just do this way. Let me check it. User, that would be false, something like now. Well, I have to define this way, it's actually not. Let me format this code. We'll have define not null is login, then we'll have a enabling, that would be register, something like this. Otherwise we'll have a colon, then we'll have login. Okay, so then we'll have another thing, then we'll have user and so here we'll have a list item, have a list item. Then inside this actually we will define dashboard nav link. Here we'll have dashboard route, and we have to define two, so the two will be slash dashboard. Okay, so let me check. Right now dashboard is not available. Let me go back. So dashboard is not available, but if you just make the user true, okay, so if you make user true, you can see the dashboard is available now. So there's a stuff, but it's actually not working. You can see this dashboard is available when actually I define the user is true. Okay, so let me define it false again. This will work. We will just define authentication system and replace the users. Okay. Here we'll have to define some class name. So we can copy this class name and also paste it here. The same class name will be applied on this. After then, if user available, then we have to show images. So that's why we'll check user. Then we will also show an image here if available. Then we'll have list item. Then inside here actually we'll have image, and here we'll have to define the src. So let me define curly braces. If user have photo url, so photo url, then it will show. Otherwise it will have rendered another photo. So that would be dot slash dot slash public slash, sorry, here actually maybe the image is dot slash let me define assets. Then we'll have girl image. So let me check it. So let me remove this actually for now. True. So dashboard, here you can see there is no images, but it should be an image. So let me check. So image is not showing. Why actually? We can just define some class name. So let me define class name, and here we will have a height. So that would be hard-coded 40 pixel. Then we will have rounded full. Then we'll have width of 40 pixel. Okay. And instead of, let me check if, okay, there is an image, but the image is not imported successfully. Let me just show it from here. Actually we can just import an image. Import photo url from here. Is this photo image is an image properly? Okay, so we can have use this dot slash assets slash home slash girl. We can just render this image for now. Instead of this, we can paste this image. Okay, so right now this is the thing. You can see It's actually not working properly, but let me just check this way. Okay, so after this, finally we'll have another one. So that would be if user and so if user available, we'll have another link items. So here we'll have logout functionality. So logout, that would be here we'll have nav. So let me check it. We'll have a link, then we'll have nav link, then we'll have logout. Here we'll add a button. So on click we'll have handle log out. So right now this function is not implemented. Let me define a simple functions for now. So const and a logout, that would be a error functions. Right now here simply let me log in. So log out. Okay, and we will add some css here. So let me add class name. Here we'll add font bold, then we'll have px3, then we'll have py2, then we'll have bz secondary, then we'll have text white, then we'll have rounded excel. Okay, so that is the thing, something like this. Let me refresh. So okay, it actually work with when we'll have dark backgrounds actually. So you can see it's very simple and more engaging. So if you have, then the last one is you can implement. Let me close all this stuff, and you can implement say home menu. So here we'll have mobile menu. So that's why we can just take a div. Inside this div we'll have a button, and here we'll define an icon. So we'll implement if a burst burst. It's actually not importing, so let me just go at the top and let me import. So buttons from at the rate, here that would be from if a react icons slash fa, and here we'll implement fa burst. Okay, so this icon actually will use where actually here. So let me close it. We'll define class name here. So that would be class name, that would be will have a height of 6, width of 6. Then we'll have on hover will be text primary. Okay, and here on this we'll have some class name. We'll have text gray 300. Then we'll have on hover, that would be text white focus. We'll have outline none, and here we'll add on click. So on click event, so there on click will be toggle menu. Okay, and on this div actually we'll add class name. By default on medium devices it will be hidden, then it will be flex items center. Okay, so that is the thing, and we can just define a type. So type will be button. Okay, so I think it's now okay. So if you just inspect it, you can see this. Let me refresh. You can see that's stop. So we'll have this type of thing when you are on large devices, it will be here. Okay, so actually it's not fixing. So let me check if we we required to add some classes here. Okay, at the beginning here on this navbar we can add framer motions. So let me add motion dot, sorry, we'll have to define motion. So motion is not imported, so let me import it. At the top we'll import, so here we'll define import motion from, then we'll define here framer motion. Okay, so we'll have motion dot, here we'll have some classes, and that would be dynamic classes. So that's why here we'll define curly braces, parenthesis, and here we'll have is home. Then we'll define nav busy, then otherwise we'll have busy white, then we'll have on dark, that would be busy black, then we'll have black blur, so backdrop blur to exit. Okay, after then we'll check if we'll have another one, so that would be is fixed. We'll have $sign, so that would be a static. Otherwise we'll have fixed, and after then we'll have top 0, we'll have transparent transition on colors, we'll have duration 500, we have is in out, we'll have w full, and finally gen index 10. Okay, so let me check. Here's something, but it's still not okay. Here we'll have to add initial, so initial value will have something like this. We'll have opacity, that would be 0, then animate, that would be equal, we'll have opacity of opacity of 1, and we'll have transition, that would be duration of 0.5. Okay, so let me check. Okay, something like this, it will be fixed when we add colors, but here on this logo we can have to style, add some class name. So we'll add, that would be flex string 0, then we'll have cursor pointer, then we'll have pl7, then on medium devices p will be 0, then that would be flex items will be center, something like this, and here we'll have on click, and we'll have a arrow functions here, so that would be navigate, and we'll pass slash something. Okay, let me check. So why this color is not showing, we can just do a little bit here. After this class we can style, sorry, that would be style. So here we'll have some style of white space, so that would be no verb, no verb. Okay, so I think, okay, so after doing this you can see it's actually working perfectly. So here is actually issues, let me fix that issues. So here we will have to keep it inside a div. Now I think, okay, okay, the one issues is that you will have everything. Okay, I will just fix that a little bit later actually. So right now it's actually not showing, but it will do whenever, let me go this, refresh it, it's actually showing, but I think it will work whenever we will have the banner done. Okay, so let's move to the next episode where we'll do the banner section. So for the home page, then it will obviously work. So where is actually the banner? The banner will work on the home page. Okay, so inside this home page actually, so here actually in this pages we will have a page for the home page. Right now here you can see we'll have directly include the home here, but we'll include it on a home page. So at the beginning we will have pages, then home, Then inside this them we move this home actually on this home page, and as we moved it will have to import it currently from routes. So instead of this, let me fix that. Okay, it's automatically fixed. Okay, so I think everything is fine right now. So we'll work with the banners. So from here in this home actually we'll have something like hero folder, and inside this hero folder we'll have banner. Actually if you check we'll have two types of hero, one banner, two banners actually. So look, this type of effect will create. So that's why we'll have two things. We'll have hero.jsx, and then we'll have another hero2.jsx. Okay, so and again on this hero folder we'll have a hero container, hero container.jsx. Let me define hero1 rfce, then hero2 rfce, then on hero container that would be rfce. Then we don't need to have this. What we will do, we'll return a section. Let me define a section tag. Inside this sections we'll use swiper. So you have to use swiper. So where is swiper? You can just simply search swiper.js and you can go there actually. If you just explore swiper reacts, then we have something like this. You will have a swiper, then you can just define this way actually, swiper select something like this. Okay, so you will have to do this. Let me define import swiper from React router. Okay, so at the top we will have this, and inside this we will have a swiper block. So inside this swiper block we'll have swiper slide. So this way actually we can just copy this, paste it. So on the swiper first slide we'll have hero, import it, and there we'll copy again. Then instead of this we can just do self closing so that it will be a little bit better. Here we don't use that, we will import hero2. Okay, so that is, now we will have to do a little bit styling. So here at the beginning we will have we have to import some css. So this is swiper css. Let me include at the top. Then swiper profs styles. So here we will add if these styles, so we'll use also these on. So let me import, then we will have these creatives finally, and again we need another one. So let me import, then we'll have something like here, and from here we will get a from, so that would be from swiper. Okay, here we include effective creative. Okay, so let's add grave cursor, so that would be true. After then we'll have effect, so effect will be we can just define that would be creative effect, something like this. After then we'll have call the creative effect. Then inside here we'll have parenthesis, and then we'll have preview. On preview we'll define shadow. So shadow will be true. Then we'll have translate, so that would be a value of array. So here we'll define -120%. Then we'll have value of 0. Then we'll have a value of -500. Okay, then we'll have next. So next, so that would be something like shadow true, translate. Okay, something like this. And finally we'll have modules. So the modules will be effective creative. Then we'll have class name, that would be my swiper 5. Then we'll have loop. Loop will be true, and here we'll have autoplay. So that would be a value. So here inside we'll define curly braces delay, so that would be 250. Then we will have disable interactions false. So everything is fine. So if you check, nothing changes, but whenever you add styling on this hero 1 and hero 2, then it will be work smoothly. So let me design the hero 1 first. So at the beginning we will have to, inside this div, let me define a minimum heights. So class name, that would be min height. Min height will be screen. Then we'll have background cover. Then here after that we'll have style. So style will be curly braces. Here we'll have background image, and the image will be URL. Here we'll import an image. So import bzimg from, we'll have //// we have assets, then we have home, then we have background on. Copy it, paste it inside here. We'll have something like this. Okay, let me check. Is it showing? Still not showing. Okay, so after then let me add a div here. Can we add some background busy black for now? So let me check it. It's actually not showing. We have to import it, otherwise how it can be shown. So where is home? Here is home. Instead of this home we have to import it. So that would be hero container beginning. So right now let me check. So it's actually showing. You can see this is the showing. Now the thing is you have to styling. So the second one is not showing, but the first one is showing. So if it's showing, look, the background is now fixed. So let me design the hero one first. So here in this div we'll have some class name. So that would be is min is screen, then we'll have flex, then we'll have justify start, then we'll have pl, that would be 11, then we'll have text white, then we'll have busy black, then busy opacity 60, something like this. So inside this div we'll have another div, so here we'll have another div, so we'll define a s3 here at the top. We can just copy some text from here, so let me define the text. So we provide, and here we can add some class name, so that would be by default on medium devices text will be 4xl, but on the small devices text would be 2xl. Okay, so after this s3 we'll have s1. Okay, you can just convert it to p1 actually, so that it will be semantic. Okay, let me convert it p, and here we'll have best yoga course online, something like this. And here we'll have define on medium devices text will be 7xl, then we'll have text 4xl, then we'll have font bold. Okay, let me check, this is something like this. So here we can just define class name, so that would be space yx is barabar 4. Okay, so right now this is the thing. After then actually we can just define item center. Now it's on item center, you can see this is the thing. After this div actually we'll have, so inside here actually we can keep, we have a div, so we have a paragraph, we can just define some lorem text, and here we can just define class name, that would be on medium devices, that would be half of the width. So let me see, that's the text. Okay, so after this we'll have another div, and here we'll have two buttons. So button 1, the first button will be join today, and the second button will be view courses. Okay, something like this. We'll have to add style, so here we'll have to define class name, we'll define flex will be wrap, then we'll have item center, gap will be 5. On this we will have class name, then we'll define px will be 7, py will be 3, then rounded lg, then we'll have background secondary, we'll have font bold uppercase. Okay, something like this. Let me check, the first one is here, the second one will be the same thing, but we can just remove backgrounds. Here we'll have a border something. Okay, so right now I think it's okay. When hover, or you can just define busy secondary. So here you can see that the first slide is done, and now the second slide, and it's similar to the first one, so we can quickly copy that. So here this is hero 1, and what we will do, we will copy everything from this div to this div, and then go back to hero 2, and here we'll replace this, simply replace this. Okay, so here we have to import the images. So let me import bgimg from, and here we will have to define dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash, and then assets, then we will have home, then we will have banner 2. Okay, so that is the thing. Let me check if it's working. Okay, look, I'm just sliding. So here the sliding is working, and we can just change the text. If you want, you can simply change the text from here. For example, here we can just make best online courses from home, something like this. So let me check it. So on the first slide you can see something like this, and on the second slide you can see best courses from home. Okay, so that is the thing, the slide is also working perfectly. So this time if you have done this, then let's see what the next. Actually, let me refresh it for in now, and here you can see this is the gallery section, is simple gallery, and we'll make this gallery. Okay, so at the beginning let me close all of this stuff. We can just close all. Okay, now where is the home? This is assets. Let me close assets, and here you can see this is hero section and this is home.js. So this is hero container, and we can change it to a section tag. So after then here we will have a div. So here at first we will take a div, and then inside this div we will have the gallery and other parts. So for example, this is gallery section, this is popular classes sections, and amazing teacher sections, and other system. Okay, so here what we will do, we will define some classes, and the class name would be max w screen excel. So it's actually not suggesting max w screen excel. Okay, after then we will have mx auto, that means it will be in center positions. Okay, so inside here we will have a component, so that would be actually gallery component. So that's why we'll select this home, then we'll create a folder that would be gallery, and inside this gallery folder we will have a gallery.jsx, gallery.jsx. Okay, RAFCE, React functional components, and here we will import it. So that's why gallery imported from here. And now if you check your websites, here you can see this is gallery, and we can close that stuff for now. Let me close all of this stuff. Okay, so here we'll have to design the gallery section something like these sections. Okay, so let's do it. So for doing this, actually at the beginning what you have to do, here you can see this is gallery and this is gallery components. We can just add some class name here. The class name will be, we will define a mid device width, so that would be on medium devices width would be 80%, something like this. Then we'll have mx auto, that means it will be on center positions. Then we'll have my, so margin to the top and bottom, that would be 28. And now if you check, you can see this is now from these positions. So then we need a header, so something like this. That's why here we can delete that. We will take a div, and inside this div we will have a h1 tag, and we'll define this text, our gallery. Okay, something like this, and here we'll have to add some class name. It's actually very easy. that would be text 5 pixel. Then we will have font bold. Then we will have text center. Okay, so we'll add some class name on this div, so that would be margin bottom, maybe 16. Okay, so let's check. So it's something like this, and it's perfectly actually working, and we can just keep it that. Let me check if it's okay. It's similar like this. Then what we have to do, we have to insert this type of pictures here, so that's why we'll take another div. Inside this div we'll have two divs. Actually one divs have one image, so inside this we'll have one image, and then we'll have another div with two images. So here actually look, here is a container and here is another container. Inside this container we will have one image, and on the right side we will have two images. Okay, so at the beginning we'll have a image. The image will be, let me import image. So here we'll import the image one from dot dot slash, and from assets then we will have gallery, then we will have image one. Okay, we can also import second image also, so we will rename it. And then here instead of image 2, image 1, actually we will import image 2. Let me try it from here, love slash image 2. Okay, so that's it done. Here we will just use by props, so that would be image 1. So if I did this, then let me check here. You can see the image, first image is this one. Okay, so let me design a little bit. So for this actually we will have some class here, so that would be mb4 for now, and on medium devices mb will be 0. Okay, and here we can add some classes. We can have to add some classes, so that would be class name. On medium devices height will have a fixed height, so that would be 720 pixels or something, and we will define width will be full, and then mx will be auto. Let's check. This image is now this, the full thing is, it's taking 80% and a little bit creepy. Okay, no problem. But if we apply here, so inside this div actually we will have a div with an image, so img, and then we'll pass the image to here. We'll add class name. The class name will be on medium devices, height will be 350 100 pixels or something like this. Okay, let's check. Here this is the image. We can copy this div for 4 times actually, so let me copy it 4 times. So you can see we will have total 4 images here. Okay, fine. Now at this time, let me close this tab and go to their parents div. Here this is the parents div. Let me add a comments. So image container. Okay, here we will add class name, and we'll define on medium devices. We will apply grid call layout, and then we will have grid columns, and that would be true. By default it will actually take 60%, 50%, 50%, and then it would be item center, then justify center, and border will be border, and gap will be 4, something like this. So you can see right now our image is this. Okay, our image is this. You can just I'm just adding border actually for to show you actually. Okay, so now we will have to resize those images. So here this is actually the second section of the image. So here we will add some class name. The class name will be, here we will add some gap, so that would be 4, and then We'll also add grid layout. Then we'll have grid calls to. Then we'll have item starts. Okay, that's it. So let me check. Okay, it's perfectly working, and right now we can just reduce the border, and you can also add some border radius to the images. So if you want, you can just define a border radius. So let me define a border radius that would be rounded sm. Okay, let me check. It's rounded sm, and we can apply these classes to the others. And let me remove the border. Actually, we don't need the border. Okay, here in each image we will add same classes, so that would be rounded sm. So that would be in actually border radius 2 pixels. Okay, so that's fine. This gallery section is done. Now the important sections, actually we will have popular classes, these sections, and will fetch data from database and show it on UI. Okay, so that is my target right now. So let's create a popular uh, actually let's create a popular classes container. Actually at first we will have, let me close this gallery, and here we will have to import that. So at the beginning we will create a folder. Inside this home folder we will create a folder, so that would be popular class says. Okay, inside this we will have popular classes.jsx RFCE React functional components, and here after this gallery we will have to import it. That's why popular classes, self closing it. Right now you can see this is popular classes, and you will have to design something like this. Okay, so at the beginning what we will do, inside this div, actually inside this div we'll have to define the same properties that we define at the gallery section. So that would be on medium devices will have a width of 80%. Actually then we'll have mx auto, and then we will add some margin to the top and bottom, that would be 36. Okay, inside this div we will have a div, and here we will have a h1 tag. So that would be, let me copy, you can just write any text. I'm just copying here, and we can add a little style on this popular section. So that's why we'll cut it and take a span tag, paste it here. Let me add some class name here, that would be a text 5xl, as usual, text 5xl. Then we'll have font bold, then we'll have text center. Okay, and here we will define uh, our text actually secondary colors. Okay, that would be secondary color. So if you check right now, you can see this is our popular classes. After then we will have a little paragraph, so that's why we can take a div. Actually we can take a div, and we can take a p. Inside here we can paste the class names, and here we will have to define, we will define the width will be 40 versions, and then we can just define, actually it will be in a ternary operator, so that would be here something like this. Then we will have text center, then we will have mx auto, and finally we will have my4. Okay, fine. Then in this paragraph tag we will have to define a color, so that would be text gray 500, gray 500 something. Okay, so I think the text is now perfect. Okay, so then we will have to design this, but before doing this, actually you will have to implement a little thing. We will create use effect hooks, actually use context hook to do that. Okay, so let me do that, but before that what we can just do, at the beginning. Okay, so at the beginning let me run our server. So I have a second terminal. Okay, on this terminal, actually, let me uh, clear it, and then here we will run our server. So server is on backend folder, so that's why we will go to the backend. We can just use tab to get it in shortcut, and then we will run the server. So that would be npm start command for the server. Okay, so here you can see pinged your deployment and successfully connected to MongoDB. So our server is running. If you haven't done it, you can check the first tutorial where I just set up the backend server first. Then we are going to use this actually on front end. Okay, so here if you go to localhost 5000 slash classes, then you will get some classes, and we will present it on here. So for this, actually we will get a help of Exus. We're using Exus, and if you search Exus, and then you will get these websites. This is the first websites. You will go Exus, and here you can see get started. We have already installed all our packages on your front end. Actually, if you go to package.json, then you will see here you will have Exus setup. So where is actually Exus? So let me here. Here you can see actually this is Exus. We have already set up, so you don't need to have to do that, but if you want, you can again do it. Okay, so actually the process is you can just command this to install it, then actually we'll do a little bit advanced. So for this, actually we'll go to these sections. Actually you can create Exus API. So Exus API, actually if you want to create a base URL, here you can see the URL is not starting from the website name. Actually it's from a specific path, so that would be relative path, and here actually it's done by actually Exus existence. So this is actually Exus existence. We will create a existence for that using here we will create actually a hook. So for this we will have to create a folder. Where we will create a folder, let me close all of this stuff. We will create a folder on the src folder. Here we will create a folder for the all hooks. Here we will type all our and keep all our hooks actually reusable functions. We will just call that functions from any components, and then we will get a result. So that's why here at the beginning we will have a hook for use Exus. We'll just call it by use context. So that's why we define use Exus Exus Exios fetch fetch fetch, and that would be .jsx array fce react functional components. We don't need to have that. At the beginning we will have to import Exus, so that's why what you can do it. Okay, let me create here. Here we will define const something like this. Here you can see at first if I have to create a instance, so we can just copy all of this and we can just paste it here. We can simply name it actually that would be Exus. At the beginning we can just define Exus, and we can just define camel case. So this is the something like this, as it's actually public API. Actually this API is a public API, so that's why actually we don't need to define something like this. We don't need to define headers. We'll do it within a little seconds actually when we just use a private API. So that would be how where we need validations, actually JWT token validation. So there we will create the headers, otherwise it will be same, and the base URL will be the root URL. Here you can see if you go to the root directory, then this is actually the root websites. So we'll use this root URL on this base URL. Okay, so that is done. We have created a base Exus instance. After then what you have to do, if you check this actually yeah, request configurations and here inceptors, so we can just define this type of inceptors so that it will be a little bit just add our comport. So that's why we will do this type of inceptors right now. So here we can add a comments, we can just adding inceptors here, and we'll use it inside a use effect hook. And make sure you have to import Axios. So Axios is not importing, so let me just again go there, and how to import actually is there. Okay, so it's actually not given there, let me do it manually. Okay, so for that actually who will define import Axios from Axios. Okay, so that is imported right now. Okay, then inceptors, how we will do it, we will do it inside a use effect hook. As you know that it will actually receive two things actually, a functional components and a functions and a actually dependency. So here will be a anonymous functions, so it's actually a arrow functions. Inside this arrow functions will have these actually, you can see execute inceptor request use and this configuration, something like this actually. And otherwise we can just return that. Okay, we can just use that, but yeah, we can just modify a little bit. So here at the beginning we will define const request, we can just define it a little bit, that would be request inceptors. So here it's actually inceptors. At the beginning we will add request inceptors, and response is inceptors, we will have two inceptors. Okay, so at the beginning it would be request inceptors, and here let me keep it capitalized. So then we will have the thing actually that is given here, you can see we'll have to define the whole thing. You can just define the whole thing here. So execute inceptors, then that would be request dot use, and here we'll have a functions. These functions will just return a configuration, so that would be configurations. And then you can just use error functions, so that if any errors happen, it can just show you an alert, or just show you an error. Okay, but if you don't want, you can also remove that functions, or you can simply do that. And you can also use arrow functions if you want, you can just simply do it by this way. Arrow functions, if it's simple for you, okay, you can just do it if you want, but if you don't, you actually don't need to do it. So that would be actually, you can add a comments. So it's actually request interceptors, and then we will have a response. When these request inceptors will successful, then we will have a response inceptor. Okay, so that is actually this block, that is actually this block. Okay, so we can just simply define a function, so that would be const response interceptor, and here it will be you can just copy all of this stuff and paste it here. You can convert it if you want, so you can simply convert it to an arrow functions, otherwise you don't need. Okay, if you have done this, then the next option is here, the second step. You need to remove the inceptors later if you want. So here, after doing this, what you will do, we'll have to return it. So that's why we will have to define a return statements. So from this use effect hook, so let me, after this actually will return it. So we'll actually return a functions. Here we'll have to define eject, actually we'll have to define these actually this way, we can just do it. this way. So that's why here we'll have exuse instance. So let me check it. Exuse incept exuse instance. So as the instance we create at the top, so that is our exuse instance. So this is actually exuse instance. Here let me a little bit inceptors actually will return exuse instance, then we will have inceptors, something like this. You can just get this here actually. Exuse instance, inceptors, then request, then eject. So this is the process. Inceptors, then request, then eject. Inside here we'll pass the request inceptor. So where is the request? So this is the request inceptors. So after then we'll have to do the same, and it would be response injectors, and we will pass this response injector here. And as a inside this dependency we'll actually pass actually exuse instance. Okay, and in this return block actually we'll simply return as we can just return it in a one line. So that would be in return we'll just define exuse instance. Okay, return it. So that's done, everything is fine. If it's done actually, if you call it from others places, then you can actually get the base URL. So let's do that on the popular dot classes. Popular classes actually at the beginning we can just call it, so const exuse fetch, exuse fetch. That would be here we can just call use exuse face from the hook. You can see we are importing exuse face from these actually from hooks and use exuse. Okay, so if you do this, then how to use it actually, you can use these this is actually this way you can have to do this way actually. Okay, so we'll call it instead of exuse we can just call it by this way. Let me check if there is there. Okay, here's exuse request get. So that would be the method. So here let's do it. So at the beginning here we'll have, let me define a user state. So here we'll have classes, then we'll have set classes, and here it will be a use effect, sorry, user state hook. Then let me define it's a arrow. So it's actually array. So if you check here on this specific routes, then you can see it's actually array. So that's why we define array here. And then we will have a use effect hook. Use effect hook. So that would be a dependency and a anonymous arrow functions. Here inside these actually we'll call these actually we'll call a face request. So that would be const fetch classes, and here we'll define a function. So that would be a function. Then let me define arrow functions as it's we call API. So that's why we'll define this is async function so that we can use actually the await. So here we'll define const response, and the response will be will define await, then we'll use this exuse space here, and then we'll define the dot get method. So here actually the process, if you check here is actually the process exuse get method, and then we will define the URL. Okay, so then exuse get method, So you can see this is get method, and inside here, as we define the base URL here, we don't need to define this base URL here actually. If you just see here, the full URL is this URL. You can just copy this, and inside these actually, inside this get method, you can just simply paste it here. But as we define base URL here on this instance actually, we don't actually need this. Actually we can just start from slash. Okay, so that would be class. So why I did this, actually every time if you use API like this way, actually you have to replace from all place, but as we are defining it on a single place, on a single one or two place, then we can simply edit it. Actually we can just go to this place and we can just edit our server's URL. Okay, that's it, fine. Then this is done, and after then we can, let me just console the response. And actually if you check your website, so if you go there, refresh it, and everything is fine. But if you check the, if you inspect and try to check the console, nothing is there. But if you call the functions after here, so this classes functions, then here you can see a data is here, and inside this data you can see a array of objects. So we'll define data here. Actually you can see all the post actually classes are here, that is inside a data folder. So if you just try to console log response dot data, then you can just simply get that. So here is the 5 array of classes. So we'll have array of classes. If we have array of classes, we can simply set it to set classes this way. So right now if you just let me comment out this, and from the outside if you just console log clg classes, then you will get these classes. So if you have classes, you can actually fetch it and can show it very simply. Okay, let me just do it. So this is on div. After this div actually we'll have another div, and inside this div we will just show the array of objects using map method. So that would be map. Inside here we'll have item, and then we'll have index. So index number, actually you can just pass this way. Actually after then we will just create a card and just return it. Okay, so for this let me create a card inside here, card.jsx, and here rfc, and we will return the card from here. Okay, self closing it. Here we will have to pass key props. Sorry, we'll have to pass key props. The key will be index number, and then here I think right now it's okay. Let me check it. Here you can see we'll have actually we'll have 4 cards here. Okay, so we will have 4 cards here, and we can just do a optional chaining if you want, but it's okay right now. So we can just pass all the class, all the items by actually we can just define item equal, we can just pass it by item. Or if you want to make it usable a little bit, we can just destructure and pass these props. Okay, keep it this way, and here we'll receive items, item, and then we can just console log item from here. So instead of this console log, let me console log from the card. So here you can see refresh, and you can see all the cards items are here. We will have all the cards item, so we can just design our cards very easily. But here let me add some class name so that we can add complete the styling. Here we will define that would be grid, and then on the medium devices we will have grid calls 2. Then we'll have on large devices grid calls 3. Okay, so something like this. We can add a little bit gap, so gap would be 8 or something. Let me check if there's much gap. Okay, or we can just define the gap will be maybe 4 now. Okay, I think keep it up, and now let's design it. Okay, so how you will do that actually? We'll have to design this card section, so let's go to the card block. Actually, inside this card, actually we can just destructure the items. So here, okay, keep it there so that we can just destructure it. So on here actually we'll define const, and here it will be an objects, and here will be an item. And right now what will destructures actually we need, let me check, we can destructure underscore id, then we can destructures all the other properties. We need name to design and show the card, then we'll have images. So here is actually image, then we will have available seats, so that would be available seats, then we will have price, then we will have total enrollments or something like this. And we can just define this id actually, we can just convert these actually an id, can just define this actually, convert this is an id. So if you just console log the id, let me just check the id, then you will see the id is not defined. So let me just inspect it. Okay, let me do it by this way, underscore id first. Okay, the id is here, but we can just can we able to, okay, keep it that way, no matters. But if it's possible to do it proper way, so for example how we can just do it, id equal id refresh, so there is no error right now. But what if you just console log id right now, id is not defined actually. Okay, keep that, no matters, we don't need to do it actually, we can keep it underscore id, it's non-matter. Okay, I think this is fine. So if you have this, then for the next actually you will have to simply define some classes here. Let me define class name, and here we'll have shadow lg, then we'll have rounded large, then we'll have padding of 3, then we'll have flex, then we'll have flex column, we'll have justify between border, yeah, there will be a little bit border, and border will be secondary. Okay, then we will have overflow hidden, and margin will be 4. Okay, so inside this what we will have an image first, so that would be an image, and we will pass the image from the above. So this is actually image, let me refresh it. Okay, here you can see we will have all these images, all the that images here. Then okay, after these actually, after this image we will have another div, inside this div we will have a h2, so that would be name actually. So name, we can add classes here, so that would be obviously text will be excel size, then we'll have font semi bold, then we will have margin bottom will 2, then on the dark we'll have text white theme. Okay, that's it. So this is something like this. Then we can add some classes on this div so that it will be a little bit prettier. So that would be p4 right now. Okay, so this is the first div. Actually, after then we will have to show some paragraphs. So that's why here we can add description. So there would be available seats or something like this, available seats, and we can just define it colon here. Sorry, we can just define a colon here. That would be available seats. Okay, something like this. Let me check it. Available seats will have available seats, and then we can add some classes. So that would be obviously text gray 600. Then we'll have margin bottom 2. Okay, so after this p we'll have another thing. So that would be actually pricing. We'll have price, and that would be simply price. Okay, so then the next on is we can also copy that, and here we'll have total students, total students, and here we'll define total enrollment. Okay, so let's check it. Here is something like this. This is similar, but we need a button. You can see this course has no enrolled students and all of this stuff, and it's actually similar. Okay, so then what to do after here, we can just define a div. So that would be a button. So this is actually select course or something like this. Here we have to add some class name. So that would be px3, w will be full, then will be py1, then bg will be secondary, and rounded excel, text white, font bold, and margin top will be 2. So let's check it. This is the button, actually select button. Then what you can do here, we can add some class name. So that would be text center, and then we can just define it as a margin top 2. Okay, but if you want to specifically load the single when someone select this, if you want to show, for example, here is the course, so the course is still not available. Let me just check the server. So that would be yoga master renders. So as we're using render, there is a little issue right now. Here actually it's only keep data running 2 minutes. So that's why let me run the server. When the server is running, you can see. So here there is a view options. If anyone select this, then actually load the course details. You can just do it this way. Actually, you can just, instead of this, you can just convert it to a link from React router DOM. So link is not importing. Let me just do it. Let me import link, import from React router DOM, and here we will have actually link. Okay, so that would be link, and here we'll define true. So that would be something like a path. So here that would be a path. So what is actually the path? So here you can see, if you just define class slash an id, for example this id here, it will actually load the single classes. So that's why we can just divide this path inside here, so we don't able to use that. So that's why here we'll use dynamic id, so that would be underscore id. So if anyone click of this here, it will load a single page where is actually class details. Okay, so that is the thing, we can just do it. And if you make it only available for 8 items, you can just also do it. You can simply define these actually maybe here to here, you can just define it would be okay. You can just map inside after before this map, you can just define slice method, and you can only slice between 0 to 6. So let me define, it will be only available for 6 items. If you define 4 items, then you will only show the 4 items here. So if you define 3 items and 3 items, then look here, if you define 0 2, then it will start from the first indexing to 3 indexing. Actually it will be only 2, you can see. And if you define here 3, then it will be available for only 3 items. If you define it for 6 actually, then it will be actually load the 6 items. So here is actually 5 data is available. If there is n data, actually that will be shown there. Okay, so that is the popular sections. And if you just do that popular sections, you can also able to do our amazing t-shirt sections. Okay, it's the same way. Okay, so let's do that. So this section is done, and right now here after this popular section we'll hit this home, and here we'll define another section. So that would actually popular teaser. Okay, and inside this we will have popular teaser .jsx rfce. We'll have to import it from the here, so that would be popular teaser, import it, and it would actually the same thing. So if you check, the first two thing is the similar to the above. We can simply copy these two things from the classes, popular classes. Let me open popular classes, and here first div actually the same. We can just copy all of this and paste it here. We don't need this right now, so we can just remove it. Okay, so here instead of popular classes, we can just define structures, and instead of popular it would be based, or based structures. So, or you can just define based t-shirts, whatever you do. And after then actually we will have to do the same thing that we did here. Actually we will have to this way, we'll have to do this way actually, but let me just do it this way. Here at the beginning, on this popular t-shirts, we can just define a user state hook. So const, here we'll have structures, then set structure. So we can just copy this, and maybe we can just paste it. The first I will be capitalized, and here we will have to call it use state, and then it will be an array, and after then we will have to fetch it. So that's why it would be xuse fetch, and here will be use xuse fetch request. So that is done. Then we will define a use state hook. Use state hook will have something like this, and then it will be same. Okay, at the beginning we'll have exuse phase, and we can just simply doing it. Then we'll have get request, and then we'll have the URL. So the URL will be, maybe let me check the server here for now. So here index.jsx, here where is actually popular structure. Let me search it from here, slash popular structures, actually these one. We can just test it by this way if it's actually working. Slash total enrollment instructors, there is no data actually. Okay, so let me go to MongoDB, log into your accounts, and there we'll actually have to add some data for the instructors. Let me log in here, browsers collections. Look, actually we will have actually two data, but we will have to just post others data, and this is actually on the users, so there is no actually users. We'll have to have an users collection. So for this, what we'll do, at the beginning we'll have a users collection. So this is actually users collection, and this collection will be users. So we'll have to create insert documents. Sorry, here is actually we'll have to create his users collections, and that would be okay, something like this. And for example, here if you just insert a user, for example, let me define in this, actually we will add some data. So let me just add some data from here, and we can just show see just send you the data. If you check here, let me just keep this data here. Sorry, it will be on backend folder, so that's why we'll click here. That would be users session data, and here actually I'm just pasting that data so that you can use it from there. Okay, so you will have this actually, and you can just copy all of this data from this users.json file actually, and then you can just upload it from here. So if you do this right now, let me refresh, and you can see right now here is the data. You can see we are getting some data. So this instructor has actually enrollment, so that's why actually it's showing this data. The first one, actually there is total enrollment 0, so that's why, and 3, that's why it's not showing. But here actually you can see here is actually one data, and here is another data. So if you have, you can simply present it there. Okay, so it would be get method, and here the route will be this route. Okay, and we can just paste it here. After then we can just do it dot then methods, and we are just will get actually data. Then we will just set it to set instructors, and here we'll define data dot data. We are doing the same thing actually that we did previously. And finally, if any error happened, we can just define a block, so that would be this block. And here we'll define, maybe we can just define a console log clg, so that would be this error. Okay, so if you have this, then if you just console log the instructors, then you will get instructors data. Okay, let me check it, refresh it. It's actually not defined, use effect is not defined, so maybe it's actually not imported. Let me import it first. So it's imported right now, and refresh it, and you can see there is nothing. But if you inspect, and here you can see there is an objects from, there is an array from the here is actually the array from the data. Okay, so if you have, then you can simply show it. So to show it, actually what you have to do, you have to do this here. You will have to map and show it there. So here at the beginning we can just do, let me just define here we'll check if structures, and then we'll define a empty fragments, then we'll have a colon, then let me define another empty fragments right now, and on the first empty fragments we will have a div, and this would be something like this. We will have a structures. If structures have, we will show this. So that would be every time we will get a structure, then we will have an index. Then here what we will have, a div, we'll have a div, and right now after this div we'll have another div, and then we'll have an image. So here the image will be, if structure has, then we'll have structure, we can just checking optional chaining, then we'll have structure. Let me check the data. So here the data is structure, then structures, then photo URL. Okay, then photo URL. We can just do a optional checking here. So if you do it, let me check here. Actually the first one is showing. Look, here is the first image. The image is here. If you check, look, if you just click here, you can see this is the image. So the first image is showing here. Okay, that is actually for Emma, and here is another image. It's actually there is no not available, so that's why one image is showing. And if you have, then what the next one is, you can just optionally show an image here. It's actually optional image. So if there is the image is not available, we can just do a optional checking. So there would be something like this. It would be a random image. So let me import an image, import img from, then we will have dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash. Actually if there is no image, we can just show a dummy image or something like this. So that would be, maybe it's from this girl image, and we can just show it here. Okay, so if there is no image found, then you can just show a dummy image. So this type of image we can just design it right now. So if you just add some styling, then it would be perfect. So let's define some classes here. So that would be, we can just define it would be, okay, here we can add classes. So that would be, the class will be rounded full, then we will have border 4, then we will have border gray 300, then we'll have ace 24 with 24 and mx auto. Okay, so that is the image size. You can see all of these images there. So you can see this image is not able to load. Let me refresh it. So why this image is actually not loading? Okay, the image is actually this image. So this is users.json. So let me just copy this image and edit the file. So this image is not gated. Actually this image is from uh, uh, an API, so we can just replace that image for now so that it will be okay. So here the users is here. Let me remove this image URL from here and keep that image there and update. We'll just make users this time. Actually we are making users manually, but we will do it when someone just log into the account, so it will actually take the image of the structures. Okay, so we'll have only 5 images there. Okay, so if that's done, then next step is we can just, after this image, we can what to do, we can just define another div after this actually. But before that, here what you can just do, here you can just add some class name, so that would be flex. On dark, that would be text white, and then we'll define on hover, so that would be minus translate y2, so that would be y2, and duration will be 200, cursor will be pointer, and finally it would be flex. Actually there is flex is already defined, so that would be flex call. Then shadow will be md, then we will have py, and that would be 8, px will be 10, and on medium devices px will be 8, and rounded md. Okay, so that's it. Let's check it, something like this. Okay, so here on these actually we can add grid layout, or we can just define what actually we can just define grid layout here. So let me define class name. We'll have grid, then we'll have mb28, then we'll have on medium device grid calls will be 2, grid calls will be 2 on large devices, grid call will be 4, sorry, that would be 4. We'll have a width, so that would be 90%. Then we'll have gap of 6, and as we define width, we will have to define it max auto. Okay, so something like this. You can see this is very elegant right now, and you can also here how many we will have, only 4. You can just define that would be only 4, so that's why here after doing this we can just define slice method, and we can just do it optional chaining, so that would be 0 to 4. Okay, so we have only 4 stuff, but if you have mass, then you can just show it. After then we need to define some text, but here let me, it's actually not needed. Actually there is the div, I'm sorry, this div, let me, okay, we can just change the styling a little bit. We can just remove this to this actually. Then here the above of this image div, actually we can just define it will be flex column, then will be by default it will be flex, will have gap of 6, and here we'll define gap of 8, something like this. Okay, so it's much better right now. So after this actually there is another div, so inside this div we'll have a paragraph tag. Let me send it to the center positions, and here it will be instructor, then we'll check it optional checking, then we'll have another instructor, then we'll have name, and we can also do it this way. Okay, so here is it. Maybe we'll have two available, so that's why it's actually showing. Okay, let me remove the where is the name is not defined, so then you can just, it's actually two things there. Why actually? Let me check here when we'll have total enrollment. So here is no data, and here is also this three, actually there is no data. So how you can just fix it? So here the issues is that when you just do this type of stuff, you can see here is actually unnecessary data. So this data from where actually coming? So let me explain a little bit. We are creating a group. The group will be, we will define an ID that would be instructor email, and then we'll check the total enrollment. You can see, so total enrollment, that is actually 3, that is actually 0, and that is actually 0. But from where it's actually doing, we are making a group of data, and then we are looking up means from where you are just look. So we will try to match to a another's data collection, so that would be users. So here if you see, actually we'll have only two users. So this is actually, if you check these users, then you can see we'll have only two users, and we can see here this is the email of the users. And here if you go to the classes, so let me go to the here, let me just go to the classes tab, and here if you just try to search using email of the users, so let me collect this email, and if you search here, you can see the image is matched. So this email is matched, and this is actually instructor email that we defined it here. You can see we're searching instructor email, and we are including it inside an id, and we'll search it on users database, users collection, and then we'll check the local field, and the field is email. So here's, you can see the this is actually matched. After then we will define a project. So the project will be, we'll define a id that would be 0, and then we'll define the instructor will be the instructor we have matched the email, that one. Okay, so that's why we define that of stuff. But here the mistake is that when you are hitting this route, so that is actually this route, when you are hitting this route is actually uh just rendering other system. So that is another field, actually that is another uh total enroll. So that is unnecessary thing. Actually it's actually not filtering. We have to filter only something like this, only where the role is actually, where the role is actually instructor. So only that one will be just shown me. Okay, so that's why only instructor email, instructor role will be shown. So it's actually not matching, so that's why we have unnecessary things. So to avoid these stuff here, before the projects, here we can just define a match check. So that would be dollar sign, so it would be match, and we'll match it with instructor role. So we'll have instructor dot role. So inside this instructor, actually we will have a role field. You can see this is the role field. Instructor, firstly you will have, sorry, you will have instructor field. Let me copy it. Then we'll have role field. So the role field is this role field, this role field. After then we'll have a colon, then we will pass it the value. So that would be only instructor, something like this. We can just copy it and now paste it here. And you at the int you have to define a comma. So if you do this, actually then you are done. So right now if you refresh this, you can see only two data is available. the unwanted data is not showing. Actually only instructor, who is actually the role with instructor and the email, then it will actually showing. You can see only role instructor and email is showing. So right now if you check here, the database will be limited to 2 1. So that is actually the role. If you have to, let me just copy a data of the users with the role, maybe we have to match it with the email. So let me match it. Okay, ignore that right now, we can just do it later when we define uh the structures. So I think this is now okay. Let's complete the design. So here after this, actually we will have to define the design. Let me complete the design. So we'll have a class name here, so that would be actually font medium. Then we will have text lg. Then we will have on dark, so dark will be text white. Then by default text will be gray 800 or something like this. So let me check. So it's something like this. After then what you have after this paragraph, actually we will have another paragraph, so that would be structure, and here we'll add class name, so that would be text gray 500 white space no warp. Okay, so white space no warp is actually it's will no warp on white space. So after that we'll have another p, so that would be actually total students. So that would be total students, and here we'll have to do this way. We'll have to do something like this, and instead of image we can just check here, is there any value. Maybe we can just check structure slash, we don't need to go inside that stuff. We can just simply check here total enrolled, and right now we can see total enrolled students is 0. Actually if this value will be 1 or much, if it is value will be 1 or 2, then it will be actually working fine. Then here we'll add some class name, and then the class name will be text gray 500. Then it would be mb4. Then we'll have white space no word. Okay, so something like this. I think you can able to show these icons if you want. Actually you can just show the icons, and I only keep it there. We can simply, let me move it here. Actually we will define that would be flex. Then we will have text, we will have flex call by default, and finally we'll have text center. Okay, I just keep the designing for you. Actually I just keep the designing. Actually you have to show these type of icons. If you want, so you can just simply using these actually React icons. So if you want to use this, I think you have to have the tags React icons. You can use this library, we have installed it. You can simply use these actually, and just to make this type of stuff similar like this. It's your task, we are just move. Yeah, I think you will able to do this. It's only text and with a background, and these stuffs also you can just do it. I don't have time to do this type of stuffs. And next thing is you can design this footer. It's very easy. We'll have a div. Inside this div we'll have text and these icons. Then we'll have 4 types of stuff here. And then that's it. You can just I just skip this part actually. If you have the issues, then just let me know. I will try to fix that for you, but it's actually very simple, so that's why I don't need to show it. Actually we will have advanced features, so that's why we will show there. Then here is the instructor fields. It's actually not showing. Let me refresh. So is rendering is working. It will be available. Wait, the server is running. Wait, it's taking a time to run the server. When the render server is running first, then it will be available. Just wait for the rendering. Okay, this is available now. You can see the instructor is available. We can just design the instructor field, and then we will move to the classes. Okay, so for this instructor actually we will have already defined a route for that. So let me define where is the route. Firstly we can just go to the routes, and then this is routes. Here that would be instructors. We can just go inside here. Okay, so this design is same like the previous thing that we did here. We'll have look, this is the same thing that we did. We can use this card for now so that it will be easily shown. So what we will do, from the home we will go to the popular t-shirts, and we will do the same thing. Actually it's the same way. Okay, when the actually the instructor, when the instructor is not available, we can just add define no instructor. We can just define within a paragraph tag, no instructor available. Okay, that is the thing. We can just copy these from the popular t-shirts, and then we will go to the component. So that is inside the pages classes. This is instructors. We can replace it from here, and also we can copy the above thing. We can just copy the whole thing from here, and let me do it. Instead of popular instructor, we'll have to do a change here. So that would be, actually it will not be the popular instructor. We'll have only instructors. So let me check the routes. So here we'll have instructors. Okay, so this is the base routes. Instead of this, we can just simply define instructors. So if you have, then let me check it. Click here, unexpected issues. So that would be, you must have to import use state and use effect, and also use fetch. Okay, then let me refresh. Here is image is not available. Let me check. When you are clicking on instructor, the image will be photo URL. So here that would be photo URL, and here we'll have to import also the image. Let me import dot slash, then that would be assets folder. Then we will have home, then we'll have girl image. Okay, so I think this page is done. You can just modify much if you need. You can add margin top here. Maybe you can just define some margin top, so that would be 20 pixels or something like this. Okay, something like this, and you can just design similar like this. It's actually not my task, it's your task. Actually you can just design this type of grid here and show address, phone numbers and email. Let me show you. So instead of this, actually instead of this, here we can just define address. So here that would be simply address, and the path will be, if you check here, so the address is, where is, so this is actually the address. You can simply no structure, then here you can simply show the address. Okay, so if you do this, then you can say address is not provided. If you want to show email, you can show email. So let me copy it, and I'm just doing it for you. So email, and that would be like, let me check the data. So it's actually email. Okay, so if you do this, you can simply see there is the email. You can just it's actually overflown. So how we can just fix it? You can just define that would be, maybe we can just, let me remove. Okay, okay, px, that would be 8 for now. And here let me define, remove this stuff from here. Maybe we can define 3 for now. Okay, it's much better right now. I think 3 is okay for this actually. Okay, so this is done. Next we will have to design this class sections. So that would be something like this. We'll have this to these sections. Okay,